Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What's it called? Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But if
Kermit.
You're saying
like
not to
frog?
do...
Yeah,
wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy...
My wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the, probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kermit and Friends. I am Elisa. This is Fozzie here, and Kermit is watching from heaven. We have a great show today. We have a musician, artist, director, producer, and music manager, Vicky-T Asher from Cobra Starship. I've never spoken to her before, but I'm very excited. I have so many questions for her. I have an idea of what she's going to be like. I always thought she was so gracious to me, and I have to admire her. She was able to do something I was never able to do, which is get along with a group of guys long term. That's something I definitely have a deficiency in. So, I can get along with people in general, usually for a good 3 to 6 months. And then it all goes downhill. Usually after that, they end up as a caller on Kermit and Friends or a troll on my Twitter account. Great example, William Quigley. I've been friends with this guy for like way too long. He's taken advantage of our friendship, walking all over me and trying to boss me around on my own show. I did a lot of preparation for today, for the interview today with Vicky-T Asher. I was watching one of my favorite guys on YouTube, Aaron Dowdy. I don't know if you guys know him, but his advice was to tell people to live more like a tree. Okay, this is what he says. A tree does not care what you think about it. It's grounded. It's just chilling. If it were a tree that bared fruit, it would not be concerned if you liked the fruit or enjoyed the fruit. A tree does not care. So I'm just going to be a tree today, and that's it. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to do the interview the way I want to do it, and hopefully we'll all have fun. I'll try not to be in my own head too much. So that's a problem that I have. I'm in my own head. I overthink things. And so if you are on the show, like if your name is Vicky-T, if your name is Sugar, and you're my co-host. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's back. Hey, Sugar.
Hi.
Hey, thank you for being here. Promptly.
Of course. Thank you for doing the show. We're very excited about Vicky.
Yes. So Vicky, it's just a blessing that she said yes. And a problem that I've had in my career, any career that I've been in, is I'm always afraid to do things that I know that I need to do. So I knew that I needed to reach out to Vicky-T. I mean, years ago, I knew I had to talk to her. We are, we're connected because we both had this position as a guitarist in Cobra Starship. We have that in common. It's very strange to go from being in a famous band to being a regular person. Okay. So I have so many questions for her about that. I heard that she had a couple regular jobs since being in the band. And it's so weird to go from playing stadiums with 1 million people screaming your name to being in an office with no one screaming your name. In fact, they're screaming at you. So I have that question. And then the reason why she actually originally reached out to me was because I wrote an article for Marie Claire, and it was about sexism in the music industry. And she said she wanted to talk to me about that. And I was shocked because she's been so successful in the music industry that it's like, I wouldn't think that she would be, bitter about anything or upset by anything. But I guess on any level, sexism affects women in any industry. Would you say that's right, Sugar?
Sexism not only affects women in every industry, particularly in the music industry. We are our own worst enemies, in my experience. The difference between the girl bands and the boy bands was the boys wanted success. The girls wanted control. And we have to start thinking more along. We need to start thinking differently, because bands are not friend groups.
No.
Bands are not about getting attention. Bands are not about these little petty things. And the guys seem to understand that a lot more. And also you would have these girls, his glasses are crooked and it's bugging me. You have girls who are more concerned about who is going to get the most attention in a band. They're more concerned with being the star than they are with the good band. And they will also, and this was a big problem too, they would find the man that's going to save them, the producer or whatever, and then they would try and harass other women into do things with that man that they didn't want to do themselves. I've seen a lot of bad behavior from the women. And I think that that's something that we can address, because I don't know if we'll ever be able to change how the men are going to behave, but we can certainly change how we behave.
Yeah, actually, when you say that, it just seems so true to me. I always wanted control. I hated that I was not like the main focus of that band. That was what was my downfall, Sugar. I wanted to be the main focus. I really did. I mean, that's the truth.
Is that good for the band though? Or
no, it's not. It's not good for Elisa or the band. So, I got kicked out of that band and I was devastated. I was so sad. And, while I was in the band, the lead band member was looking on MySpace to replace me. He found Vicky-T. And this is not, me against Vicky-T. She obviously would take, any person, men, women, whatever, you just take any opportunity. Opportunities come, so few and far between. I've noticed, like for me, it's about every 5 years, I get a really big one, big opportunity. And, she took it and she made the most of it. So I'm really impressed on how she was able to make that work and just what kind of person she is. I have a feeling that she's like a laid back, cool girl, a girl that gets along with groups of people at once. I have never been that. I've always had social anxiety, depression, obviously bipolar, all those problems. And that I don't want to blame it on that, but I feel.
Do you think that it is necessary for a working musician to be able to get along with groups of people at once?
Yes.
That's funny because the guys are terrible at that. They're not good at that. So how come females have to be good at that?
That's a great question.
The guys can be mean as hell as long as they're good at what they do on stage and in the studio. That seems to be something that is lumped on us. We're supposed to be the advocators. We're supposed to be the salespeople. We're supposed to be the representatives, and pushed out front. And that shouldn't be. We should just have to play and write the same as everybody else.
Yeah. But speaking of women in power, I have a woman on the show today that actually ran for president as a Democratic candidate for president 2020. Please allow me the chance to share my views and impress your listeners as a solid option. Oh, so this was an old email, I think. But the best way to show parties that they do not control our country is to elect someone from outside the parties. So this person, Sharmin Smith, we're going to get to her in a second. I'm really excited. She was running for president. We have a bunch of strong women on the show today.
That's excellent.
Yeah, but speaking of strong women, we have a man here that loves women, loves strong women. His name is Ham Hands Bill. He's from the Howard Stern Show. He has a couple questions for me. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Ham Hands Bill. What is your question?
Thank you, Elisa. Thank you very much. By the way, I got my first COVID-19 shot on Valentine's Day. And I encourage everybody who gets the chance not to pass it because it's very important, you know.
Right, good.
Also, you were talking about earlier about people trying to use you and stuff. I wanted to tell you that you have to continue to be strong. You have to continue to be independent because I hear a lot of people talking about your show and giving you a positive reviews. You know, it's good that you let other people help you, but, you know, don't depend too much on other people because they get you used to whatever help they give you. And, you know, they might make you feel like you might need them too much when you could do slowly take control of your own show and, you know, prepare your stuff. You know, use them as you need them, you know, but don't let anybody control you or tell you what to do, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying not to let that happen, Bill. I have so much going on right now. It is really hard to deal with a lot of things that happen here. There's a lot of moving parts. Obviously, William Quigley was my producer. I had to let him go. I had to let him go, Bill.
Well, I mean, whatever you have to do, you have to do. The main thing is, you know, keep having control of your show. You know, stay positive and don't let any of this stuff distract you or get you down because it's all about you. And, you know, just keep it up. You don't let anything get you down and continue to success, you know.
Yeah. I just want to say to people, if you're a guest on this show today, just sit tight. You're going to get on. I just have to get through all of my beginning segments, and then I'm going to get to Sharmin first, and then the rest of you. And then Vicky-T is coming on in 20 minutes. And then also we have some musical guests as well today. So Ham Hands, I have to go to my my robot friend. But what are your questions for me? You had 2 questions, I think.
All right. This is the thing. Those of you who know Elisa and me, you know, Elisa and myself, we've been friends for many years. And in private, we talk about fun stuff. We talk about private stuff. And a couple of weeks ago, I know there was a guy on the phone with you who said that his 80-year-old grandmother was watching the show with him. So to him, I tell him, you know, your grandmother, his grandmother can teach him stuff. And I was asking you a couple of weeks ago about oral sex and Ganso doing oral sex as you were standing up. And I was trying to ask you before, when he was doing oral sex on you, was his face facing your behind or facing your front?
How am I supposed to remember that, Bill? That's you know, it's like almost 5 years ago now. I don't remember the exact positions. I do have good things to say about him, Gonzo, and I really actually don't have any hard feelings against any man that I have dated. I you know, it takes some time to let things go. I was upset at him at one point. I was upset at a lot of people at one point, but I really am trying to be like a tree now. Trees do not care, you know, what other people do or, you know, what kind of situations other people get involved with. They're just a tree. I'm just being myself. I'm living my life, and I'm not concerning myself with others' actions because you can't control other people's actions, Bill. You can only control yourself.
Because I was talking this with someone who heard me on the show, and the person was asking, it was a woman asking, why are you asking that? I said, well, some fans were asking me the same question, and it's something so unique, or performing oral sex standing up is something that some people asking me too. I said, well, I know Elisa to be a pretty girl, not only pretty girl, you take care of yourself very well, super clean girl, clean shaven, very nice. So I assume that it was oral sex on your behind and on your front. So, with something, not something you never forget, something unique, right?
Wait, right what?
I mean, something so unique where you ever hear of that, of someone doing oral sex on a girl standing up, is something that someone will never forget. You asked me my last relationship a couple of years ago, and I could tell you how I performed oral sex on her. I was on my back, she was on her back, her private spread on my chest. I was performing oral sex until she had a climax. We had a lot of fun. Even though it was years ago, that's something I will never forget. But I understand of you not wanting to get into details, which I respect that also.
I just really don't remember Ham Hands. I wish I did. I would love to, tell you intimate details, but I can't remember. I'm really sorry. I would tell you. I really would.
Now, but one more question. Now, in general, you had your tossed salad, correct? In general, meaning both areas being performed oral, correct?
Ham Hands, 1 second. I'm just getting a call. Kermit and Friends.
Elisa, I'm watching this show with my 8-year-old nephew. Can you tell this perv to stop talking about oral sex? Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Okay, thank you for calling in. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, so if you're 8 years old, probably watch something else. If you're 8, this is not a good show for you. It's like this show, if I were to explain it to somebody, it's like if the Howard Stern show met like Disneyland, but there's no tossed salads in Disneyland at all.
See, that's the same guy who called 2 weeks ago saying that his grandmother was watching the show with him.
Yeah.
So he just make it that, but it's okay. But anyway, so I'm glad talking to you. Thanks for wishing me a happy birthday.
Yes, I have a little clip to wish you a happy birthday from our robot friend who's up next. Happy birthday, Bill. We all love you here. And now I'm going to welcome to the show, K-Bot.
That was awesome.
I'm so happy you enjoyed it, K-Bot. K-Bot, you're one of my best friends here. I'm so happy you're here. Sugar's calling in, my co-host. Kermit and Friends.
Hi, this is Carol King.
Carol King, the singer? Hello?
No. I'm Benji's horny therapist. I'm Carol Jane. I'm Benji's horny therapist.
Oh, Benji's horny therapist. Hi, Benji's horny therapist. How are you?
Hi. I was just wondering if the K-Bot would let me give him a pedicure while he was wearing the flowered miniskirt.
Oh, okay. So that was Benji's horny therapist calling for K-Bot. K-Bot, how do you feel about having female fans?
I love it. It's great. I'm sexy, so it works.
Yeah, you are sexy. I think you are a sexy robot.
You are too. I love that outfit you're wearing today.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
very colorful.
So this is what's going on today. We have a lot of special guests lined up. We have somebody that ran for president, a woman that ran for president of the United States. I can't believe that we have her on here.
Hillary Clinton?
Somebody like Hillary Clinton. She was a Democrat, military brat, and spouse was born in the project. She lives in a mansion. Her parents were violent, alcoholic pedophiles.
Oh, no.
No? Maybe I'm reading this incorrectly. I'm going to ask her about all of this. And then we have an author, and then we have Vicky-T from Cobra Starship. We have a lot of people coming on this show. And actually, we're supposed to have Andy Dick on the show and his multiple roommates. That's my fiance, and he actually asked me to have a baby with him. After not talking to me for a week, he asked me to have a baby with him. And I said, I'm afraid I'm too old to have a baby. It might come out like us. That's my number one fear, is that I have a baby with Andy and it turns out exactly like me and Andy. So the topic of today's show pretty much is about my Marie Claire article on sexism in the entertainment industry. According to Yahoo News, sexism in the entertainment industry has not been wiped out yet, as women still face a lot of challenges with the progress of the Me Too movement. However, the release of the documentary Framing Britney Spears and several new reminders of past wrongdoings have triggered a new type of reckoning. So it had shed a light on how not all abuse is physical abuse or sexual abuse, and how poorly women in the entertainment industry are treated, actually. And I wrote an article about this in Marie Claire, and that's how I connected with our guest today, Vicky-T. She'd reached out to me and she'd offered to discuss this. The Me Too movement, obviously it's hot right now. Everybody's talking about it. People are apologizing left and right, but they're apologizing after doing all these horrible things, and they're only apologizing when caught, K-Bot.
Well, I apologize for telling you look nice today. Was that wrong?
No, that wasn't wrong. See, that's the thing. It's hard to tell what's wrong and what's not wrong. It's very confusing. How do you tell? Is it only if the guy's hot? That's okay. If the guy's not hot, then it's not okay. That's the confusing part. Just getting a call. Kermit and Friends.
Hi, this is Hot Marge, and I got a thing for that robot.
Yeah.
After these interrupt sex, I want to run him over with my truck.
Yeah. So see, that was Hot Marge asking to run you over with her truck. I mean, is that a Me Too moment?
I don't feel at all violated. I think it's pretty hot myself. I'd love for her to run me over.
Okay, well that's good.
So it's fine with me. I don't feel weak about it.
You don't. Okay.
I don't feel like my personhood has been devalued. But I can understand it if some person who's your boss is saying, "Hey, if you don't go out with me, you're not going to get promoted." That's crossing the line, fella. That's crossing the line, buddy.
Yeah, like my ex-producer here asked me to model a Kermit and Friends thong for him. And I ignored that comment. And then he kept going and going and going, and he wouldn't stop. So I had to fire the guy. I had to fire him, even though he brings, A+ guests, A-list stars to the show. I had to fire him because I can't feel uncomfortable at my own show. I want to feel happy. I want to feel like this is fun. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I want to feel very warm here and only warm feelings towards it. I don't want to feel upset. And he was making me upset. And I said, what's worth it to get, huge A-list guests or to feel happy, in my home, which is Kermit and Friends?
You are the A-lister already.
Thank you. Thank you, K-Bot. You're so sweet. So K-Bot, I don't know what your political affiliation is, but Sharmin Smith is a Democrat. She speaks about the environment, homelessness, childhood sexual abuse, trauma, PTSD, abortion, the death penalty. So get your questions ready for our first guest today, Sharmin Smith. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, Sharmin. Okay, great. So you are here. Oh, I'm getting a call. I'm sorry, Sharmin. Oh, shoot, I just missed it. Andy, I know you're watching and that you want to get in. You are next, my friend. Andy, just be patient. Okay, so Sharmin, you are a very special person here. You ran for president. Tell me what inspired you to do that.
So I'm the author of the book Taming the Titta. It's a fictional life story about politics, religion, and a reality TV show called Who Wants to Be President. It's self-published in January of 2015, a full 6 months before Trump started his campaign.
Okay.
And I wrote this story as a way to reframe my childhood abuse and put a positive spin on it. I believe that it was possible to unite the nation and the world behind the common cause of eradicating pedophilia. I thought it was the one thing that would unite most of the nation. Watching Trump announce his campaign and his behavior after he came forward, there's a lot of similarities between what I wrote in my book and the way things played out in real life. It was it's a very interesting dynamic to read and to watch. A lot of things I wrote played out, just not the way I wrote them. And I really believed that it was a calling for me, and I decided to launch my own campaign for president. I believed that I could make a huge impact and bring attention to this issue that I really feel is a problem and needs to be addressed.
Okay, so you mentioned in your bio here that you grew up with violent alcoholic pedophiles.
Yes. I am an adult survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I come from the worst of the worst environments. It's a topic that people aren't comfortable discussing. There's a very taboo to it. Nobody really wants to talk about it. The survivors of it need to be the people who come forward and discuss it. What we saw this last couple of years has put a spotlight on a problem that we're mature enough to address in a responsible way.
Okay.
I'd like to think so, but one of the things that I feel responsible for in June 2018, when I launched my campaign for president, the company that I hired to do my marketing for me, you have their email and our LinkedIn contact. They actually turned out to be heavily connected with QAnon. And I believe they sucked a bunch of my information up, the knowledge from my book, from my personal perspectives, and they fed it into their machine and spit it out across the nation and the world in a way that's very unhealthy. And I feel personally responsible for connecting with these people because I feel like they twisted and manipulated a painful topic and they used it against our citizens, against the country. And I really feel like the key to breaking the hold that they have on our country is exposing them. And that's part of it.
Wow, you are so passionate. I love your passion.
Thank you.
It's so awesome. So, you're obviously not president now. What are you doing currently? You're so passionate about these issues, and I'm just wondering, how do you help the world? Because obviously we need a lot of help. This world is so messed up right now. There's so much anger. People are just out of control.
They are. And these QAnon videos are very important to the topic, right? One of the things that I learned through this process, some of the connections that I made with these QAnon type people, the videos that they create are layered with visual and audio subliminal messages. Once you pick up on one, it's easier to identify the others, but for every one you catch, you miss 100. And it's really important for anybody who has watched these videos or fallen into this trap of following their breadcrumbs. When you look at these videos and you watch them, you need to pay attention to the moment that you experience rage, because these subliminal messages are layered in such a way to create a response within you that makes you angry, and they're capitalizing on this. And they have made up lies about people. They've spread rumors that are completely false. It is Andy, part of what I'm doing now is trying to just share my story, because when I meet people and I tell them my story, I get to watch a light bulb go off for them, and it helps people realize they were taken advantage of.
Wow. Okay, just hold on one second. I just have Andy on the phone. I don't know if he has a question for you, but Andy, what the hell is going on?
Nothing. We're just having a fun time.
Andy, are you trying to get in the show? I have Sharmin Smith who ran for president, and she wants to, obviously you're on the show. What the hell's going on? Where are you?
Just at my house.
I know, but you have to click that link so you can get on the show, Andy. And we have Vicky-T coming.
Again on this number, please.
Yeah, I texted it to you. Just click the link. It's so easy, Andy. All right. I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm sorry, you guys. Kermit and Friends.
Hey, Elisa, I have a question for Sharmin.
Okay, great. Question for Sharmin. If I kick you out of the studio, just stay out for 10 minutes, okay? Because I have to have Vicky-T on here. Yes. Yes, Ham Hands.
Just stay out.
Yes, are you ready for the question?
Yeah. I'm ready for the question.
All right, the question is there anything being done to stop those QAnon negative theories that are all false?
Is there what?
Theories that are all false. My question to Sharmin is there anything being done to stop or to stop those false theories.
Okay. I wonder if she heard that. Did you hear that, Sharmin?
I don't know how to stop the QAnon false conspiracy theories. I don't think anybody does. Every television show, radio station person that I see talking about it, even the professionals who've worked with deprogramming cult members don't exactly know how to break the hold that this has on people. And it's scary and it's dangerous and it's really upsetting because it's hard to watch your family and friends that you know and trust to be good, decent people fall into a trap where they can't get out, and they don't see that they have been manipulated. And it's a problem everywhere. I think there are a lot of people sharing their stories and their experiences because it is their hope to get their friends and family back.
Okay, we're going to take a quick question from Trumpster Bob, and then I want you to promote your book. Trumpster Bob, you're on with Sharmin Smith, Democratic candidate for president 2020.
Well, first I want to start out by saying hello to Sharmin Smith. I'm a Trump guy, so you know how that goes. But my thing is concerning the Me Too movement. Here's the problem and the question I got. Okay, when you start intermixing LGBTQ issue with the Me Too movement, then you're not really about women's rights anymore, right? Now you've smeared all the good that could come out of a movement like the Me Too movement. Okay, but who's the chick that started it? Anybody asked that question? Who's the chick that started it? Her name is Burke, okay? And she's part of LGBTQ, and her son is, let me read this and describe it properly. He identifies as a queer and a trans identified person, but calls himself a female. And his name was converted over to Kaya Burke. So, and I will say, even though with women's gymnastics, where they brought out that Larry Nassar issue that had been going on for years and years, so they have been a very successful movement because they are demanding and they have made some changes in surrounding women's gymnastics concerning the doctors and whatnot. So I really like the idea behind the movement, but my question is, do you really think the movement is going to continue to be about women? Or do you think they're going to gay it up like they have all these other movies?
Well, I don't think they're going to gay it up like all the other movements. I think the Me Too movement is an incredibly powerful message, and it is a movement that is needed, but it's not just going to be for the LGBTQ community. It's going to be for men too. This is a human issue that does not have a gender-specific role. When you talk about Me Too, you talk about people who survive sexual assault. 1 in 4 women before the age of 18 are sexually abused, 1 in 6 men. So the odds are you know a man and a woman who applies to the Me Too movement. It is not something that is just going to be because the gays come in and gay it up. It is an issue that impacts everyone across the board, and it is going to continue moving forward. It's going to continue to pick up speed. And this is a wonderful time for us all to have conversations with each other on how we can help support each other during our healing.
Absolutely. I think that is the most important, that as women and just as people, that we're there for each other. It is hard, to navigate these industries that are mostly men, right? It seems like that. I mean, I've been in a lot of different industries, the music industry, the gold business, reality TV, everything. And you have to deal with men no matter where you go. And a lot of times it feels like we don't have any power.
Right. Look at the situation that's coming out right now with the Marines. We have a female Marine who the male that assaulted her admitted what he did was wrong. And the military is very much an environment that is controlled and has been mostly men. And we have a wonderful opportunity here for men to step up and help support survivors. And this is part of the direction the Me Too movement needs to take. We need men to be actively engaged in correcting male behavior. Women have been screaming for decades and centuries that they don't like the way that they're treated. It is when we get men on our side and the allies are activated for us, because men really do have to correct men. Men don't necessarily listen to women. It's unfortunate. We're always working on how we deliver our message, because as women, our delivery is often more important than our message, right? Guys can say anything anyway, but women
Absolutely. Absolutely. Kermit and Friends.
Oh, hey, baby, it's Andy Dick. What's the link so I can look at your face?
Okay, so you have to do the link right now, because I'm about to have Vicky-T Asher on here, and she's our big guest, and I want you to talk to her. So use your link right now. If I kicked you out of the studio, just stay out, because Andy's coming in to help me interview Vicky-T Asher. Andy, come in now.
Yeah, can you please resend him the link, because it didn't refresh on his phone.
Who's this?
It's Callie.
Oh, hey, Callie. Oh my God. Can one of my producers, like Leaf King, Gaia Paya, Tyler Scott, or I just fired William Quigley, but William Quigley, if you're still around, can you please send the link to Andy Dick? And also, I texted to you guys' roommate, Jesse.
Yeah, we're here. We're all here together. I have the link, but it didn't refresh on his phone for some reason, so I'm trying to help him. I'll try to do it myself.
Okay, do it yourself. Oh my God. Wow, I need like 5 producers for that group. Okay, I'm about to introduce my next guest. If I kicked you out of the studio, please stay out. I'm begging you, begging you, because I have to introduce a very special guest today. Let me read you her bio. Victoria Jane Asher, also known as Vicky-T, is an American musician, artist, and director. She's the guitarist of the award-winning band Cobra Starship. She records solo albums under the name Vicky-T. She's a director of many music videos and commercials. She created a company, her own company, Muted Color, as a way to release her own music. Through Muted Color, she's released Clouds, Turn It Low, Ghost, Another Word for Paradise, Kryptonite Hollow, and her 4-track EP, which I highly recommend, Feeling Myself Without You. She's teamed up with her boyfriend, Trent Colkin, to take over Muted Color. They're making it into a production company, an artist collective. Everybody, welcome to the show, Vicky-T.
Hello.
I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. Oh, I can't even hear anything out of my headphones. I'm just realizing I can't hear myself.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, that's all that's important. That's all that's important. Okay, so welcome to the show. You have a very busy day today. You only have a half hour with me, but I'm really lucky about that. What goes on?
I'm a little more chill right now because I made it to my parents' place. I'm just a bit makeupless and messy, but that's okay. So firstly, it's awesome to actually meet you because obviously we both were in the same band. She was in the band prior to me. I then came in and felt terrible that I was, taking over your job and felt bad given the circumstances. And, if I were in your place, I would have hated me. Here we are.
So I can't believe that you at any point felt bad. Wasn't your fault at all.
Yeah.
Obviously. I had a big problem just in life in general, and it bled over to, in the band. I was just very uncomfortable. And what I noticed about you, what I think I know about you is you seem to be like pretty easygoing. Like, how do people describe your personality?
Generally very easygoing. And I've kind of always been a tomboy of sorts, I guess. Mm-hmm. So one of the number one things, which maybe you got asked the same thing, but while I was in the band, it was always, what's it like being the only girl in the band? And I was like, who gives a fuck? Like, it's fine. It's
really
great. Yeah. And I think like at one point it was like my response was like, oh, I have the best pair of tits in the band, and that was like, that would get a laugh at least. But it was like, I just thought that there was like more to it than just being the only girl in the band. But I grew up always having guy friends. I have very few girlfriends, sadly. It's not like really a planned thing. But so for me to be in a band with all guys was like totally normal. Like I preferred to be with all guys. If I had been with all girls, I think we would have killed each other.
Okay. So you get along with men well. So even when you're in a bus with, how many men would you say you lived with, in that bus?
Probably like 10 at all times, pretty much, because we would have, like sound guy and our security guy and lights and,
Yeah. So
merch,
you were fine
everything.
with that? You were like comfortable?
Totally fine.
You
And I had
were?
it down to an art where I would like change my clothes, like with like one shirt over and then like flip the dress like underneath or whatever. Like I was skilled.
Wow, that is amazing. So you were very comfortable. You're used to being friends with guys. You've actually been in the entertainment industry your whole life. You started as a director. Is that how you broke in? Like, what was your big break? How did you start?
So I always wanted to work in film. My dad always worked in music, but I had no interest in being involved in music. But I had a band when I was 16, I guess. So I guess I was partially interested in music, but film for me, it was like, I want to direct, I want to produce, like that's all I want. And I also wanted to be behind the camera for sure. And then I was like having a fucking meltdown, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And I was studying film at NYU and I was working for the director, Michel Gondry. And I thought I was on the path towards film, but it was kind of like nothing was really panning out. And I was dealing with a horrible breakup with my boyfriend. And
How old were you, Vicky? I think you were very young during this crisis.
I guess early 20s.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So something happened.
So I was
it was a
adult
breakup.
enough. Yeah, but I'm someone that like breakups in me are just bad news. When I fall in love, it takes me a very long time to get over it. But I was with someone who now he's one of my best friends in the world, but we had a very tumultuous relationship for 7 years, and he was very jealous. And we had had like one of our many breakups, and literally like right when I was like, I don't know what to do with my life, I got a phone call being like, hey, this is Alex Suarez. And we knew each other through my boyfriend at the time. And he was like, oh, like, our singer, he found your page through MySpace. And I wondered if you wanted to like go on tour with our band, Cobra Starship. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll do that for a month. And then I'll go back to film. And instead it was like 10 years of my life. It was totally unexpected. And I'm ultimately glad I did. But when I first joined, it was rough. The guys were really harsh on me, as I'm sure you experienced. Yeah.
They were harsh on you? How so?
Gabe wasn't. Gabe was always like super chill and nice and great to me. But like Ryland picked on me a lot. And
wow, that really surprises me. That really surprises me. Because I thought, like in my mind, I had this, vision of what happened, right? I just created it in my own mind. So I thought, once they got rid of me, they were just so happy that I was gone that like you were just an angel that appeared and they would just kiss your ass.
No.
No?
Definitely not. I was sobbing most of the time. But I at least though, like I was so kind of hardened by having guy friends my whole life and knowing how to deal with guys picking on me and stuff that I just didn't really deal with their shit. And Gabe was always more and more just like, man, like no one can fuck with Victoria. She's a fucking, she like will not, take shit from anyone. But like
so when people pick on you, when people pick on you, how do you react to that?
I don't know. Somehow I kind of brush it off. I think so. Growing up, I was like totally the uncool kid. Like I was made fun of like crazy in school. I was the weird tall girl. I was the girl no one would dance with at dances. So I had my fair share of getting made fun of. So I think that I don't know. I guess I just somehow became more callous to that, even though I'm like the most sensitive person in the world. But I don't know. I somehow just knew to be like, fuck these people. But I would definitely get hurt by it. I don't know.
Yeah. What was your most fun time on tour, did you, get with any celebrities, anything fun like that?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun on tour for sure.
Okay.
I don't kiss and tell. But there were some celebrity relationships, and I don't know, such a love-hate relationship for me. Like I am someone that suffers in general from like grass is always greener. I think I'm going to have that my whole life. But while I was on tour, like I loved it in so many ways, but then I also was kind of like, my passion is film, and I'd have days where I'd be like, I'm just like on stage to be like a pair of tits on stage.
Did you feel like they underused you at all?
I think with some things probably, but I don't know. I also was like scared of asking for what I wanted.
Me too.
Yeah.
That is my main problem. In fact, I had to be drunk to ask you on the show.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I went to the Waldorf Astoria rooftop with my neighbor Brandon the other day. And I had 2 sangrias. And then finally I wrote to you. But if it wasn't for that, I am just so scared to ask for things that I really want. And I don't know why that is. And I really want to get past that because look at this. Like, this is going great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, totally enjoying myself. I mean, I think that it's like a muscle that you need to build. Like, you just need to keep asking for what you want and be confident in it, even though it's much, easier said than done. But yeah, I don't know. I think that I was like a little intimidated to ask what I wanted. I also feel like I wasn't as kind of business savvy and I didn't know. I don't know. I can't define it. Maybe I can't define it.
So what I was wondering about you is, on the Cobra Starship, like top hits, they always had a woman singing. And I was never that woman, and I don't think they made you that woman. And I was wondering, you sing, you're great. I was listening to your music all week this week, and I thought you were so amazing. Like, did you ever think, man, if they would have just put me in one of those songs as like a duo, you could, build more off that. Did you ever think that way?
I definitely wanted to. I mean, the most that I got is that I got to do my song Disaster Boy. So I'm singing on that. And there's tracks where I have like plenty of my vocals in it, but as far as the lead part, obviously it wasn't me, but then I would always do the lead part live. And yeah, I mean, I wish I had been on the recording, but whatever.
Same here, Vicky. Same here. Okay, so let's take some questions. Let's start with my fiance. I'm going to introduce you to my fiance right now, Andy Dick.
Oh.
Andy.
Hey, baby.
Andy, what the heck is going on? Your audio is so weird. You're on with Vicky-T Asher from the band Cobra Starship. What is your question?
Hi, Andy.
So, she's my fiance.
Andy, what the heck is going on over there? It's like a huge party.
It's bad. I'm not going to lie to you. I am not gonna lie to you. Can you guys? I'm doing a goddamn podcast.
Andy, go in your room. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Vicky. So I got engaged 2 weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah, it's going just like that. After he proposed to me, he disappeared. And now, he's part of this podcast. He's like pretty much my co-host here. But every time I see him, he's with like 1 million people. And
he has 2 cameras of him, apparently. It keeps going like double. I don't know if you're seeing that.
No, I am seeing that. I'm just going to let him fix that. And I'm going to bring him back on. But anyway, he asked to have a baby with me. I was never one to want children. I never really thought of that. Are you the family type? Do you imagine yourself married with kids?
I don't know. I always thought I would have kids if it made sense, like if financially and I was with the right person, sure. But I wasn't going to be one of those people that like fell victim to like, carrying, like obsessing over like biological clocks ticking and pressuring something that wasn't right. So we'll see if it ends up being the right situation. I'm down, but we'll see.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And another thing I wanted to ask you was, after you went to normal jobs after Cobra Starship, or are you just like chilling?
No. So, well, I pursued my own solo music for a long while afterwards, and primarily, it wasn't even necessarily like about like having a solo pop career or something. I was just interested in songwriting and wanted to like really pursue it. So I was traveling all over Europe, working with a lot of awesome, super talented people, and just creating a whole body of music. Some of the stuff I released is my own Vicky-T project, and then other stuff it was pitching to other artists to hopefully get it out there. Nothing was really happening. I then started a label with some investors, and a lot of the money went in the wrong places because they didn't really understand the music business. And now I'm like managing songwriters and producers, which is funny and interesting. But
what's that like?
It's been great. I have really talented clients, and I enjoyed connecting the dots of like getting them in the right rooms and, you know, writing stuff for certain artists. And then on the side though, I'm pursuing the film thing, and my boyfriend and I developed a docu-series with our friend Helena during COVID, and we filmed 2 episodes, and now we're in the process of getting it out to networks and getting it pitched and blah, blah, blah.
So Vicky, I have some advice to ask of you. Andy and I are thinking of pitching a show about our like marriage and our possibly adopting a child. How would we go about doing that? I have no idea. Andy's done it before. How do you start doing that?
This is something that I'm learning still, but I mean, we created a very...
Baby, I've already learned it, and I know how to do it.
Oh, you know how to do it, Andy?
Yeah, baby.
All right, good. All right, okay.
That's why you said yes to me.
Isn't he so cute?
So cute. Andy, I've been in the same room with you many, many times in person, but I don't know if you remember.
Wait, when was that, Vicky? When were you in the same room as Andy here?
Just multiple parties and stuff. We've been at the same places. I can't pinpoint exactly where, but it's been many times.
Don't tell me you're engaged to Andy too.
Oh yeah, I am too.
That would really be something.
And we're adopting a kid too, so. You know.
So is Andy your like type? Like, what's your type of guy? I know you're dating the actor Trent Culkin now. Like, what is your usual type of guy that you go for?
I definitely have a history of always like tall and dark hair. Seems to always be the trend.
Me too.
For me, just someone needs to be really smart. I've like dated like beautiful men that are just boring and not smart, and I can't do it. I'm not interested in looks. For me, it's like there needs to be something more unique. And actually my boyfriend Trent, when I was first looking at photos of him and stuff, I was judging a book by his cover, like thinking like, oh, he's just too beautiful, he's probably going to be really boring. Which is a total asshole way of perceiving him. And then I met him though, and I was like, man, he's such a good human being, and he's really smart, and he's great. And what's nice is that this is like the first relationship I've been in where it truly feels like we're a team, and we like create stuff together, and we you know, are really supportive of one another. Because I always had boyfriends that were super intimidated by my success, and like
really,
oh yeah, always.
So you would date down, Vicky?
Guess so. I mean, I never thought I was at the time, but then I always kind of took that turn where I was not made to feel good to like look pretty or to pursue things, or to like when I'd get, you know, attention for things, it was kind of, you know, just no, male ego.
Wow. I had never considered dating down before. That's interesting that you would do that. I wonder why. So, that's very interesting. What are you saying, Andy?
Baby, you never considered dating down, but you're dating me?
Well, Andy, I admire you a lot. You're hilarious. You're wonderful. You're a lot better than what you think, Andy.
Yeah,
you're awesome. Oh my gosh, it's just so loud.
Barry Measy guy.
Barry Measy. You can meet him right now. Okay, so let's take fan questions. Andy, stay there. It's just a little loud where you're at, Andy. Okay, let's take some fan questions. If you want to start with Barry Measy, we can start with him. Barry Measy, you're on with Victoria Asher.
Hey, Vicky, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. See, obviously don't know me, but I'm a regular guest on Kermit and Friends since 2015, since Elisa started running the show, and I was one of the original first fan favorites. I've been on numerous podcasts. I'm actually a celebrity myself. I'm considered what you call a B or C list celebrity. I have a hit reality show online that used to be on Amazon Prime, but Amazon just dropped me. I found out recently. So it's so I'm still on Pantaflix, and I wasn't pending it out, but they dropped me too, and so did Vimeo. So I'm launching my show on this new platform. I just forgot what it's called.
Barry, what is your question? What is your question?
Vicky says she works in the music industry, and as working with producers and songwriters. I work with Tony Bon Jovi and with Niall Henson, the founder of MTV and founder of CMT. He's my business partner. So maybe there's a way that we can link up and talk and chat.
Well, I'm not really bringing any new clients on, unfortunately. So sorry.
Good answer. Great answer. Okay, let's keep going with the what were you saying, Andy?
Great question. Fired.
Who's fired? Who's fired, Andy? Andy, go in your bedroom. Go in your bedroom. Too loud. Too loud. Not good. Okay, let's bring on Eric Riggs. Hey. Eric, you're on with Victoria Asher. What's your question?
Hi, wow, this is just such a dream come true, Vicky. I've always wanted to be a rock star. It's still kind of in the future. One time I got as far as having vocal lesson with Seth Riggs, and he was like, well, first I talked to his wife, Margaret, and she was like, no, you should have a lesson with Seth. And I walked to his place from my office, but he was like, here's the book of the Riggses. I swear we're families. There's all of Michael Jackson's records on the wall right there. There's me with Quincy Jones. But that's as far as I ever got. So this is like such a huge opportunity. My question was in music, there's like a lot of like sex parties I've kind of gotten. Like, did you ever experience that? Like a lot of like kind of like people blowing each other. And I one time had a radio agent who was I've heard stories, but there was nothing like that. Like where there's like, who's who, like who do you have to sleep with to get onto this record?
No, not at all. I mean, I also Cobra Starship, everyone was in a relationship, so they were all tame. I mean, they were crazy, but not in the orgy way. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. There was a story I was going to tell, but I'm like, people get very offended easily nowadays. So I feel like I'm not going to say it. But no orgies on the bus or anything like that.
So there was a question from someone in the audience. What did Cobra Starship tell Vicky about Elisa when Vicky joined the band?
They weren't the friendliest about Elisa. I mean, there wasn't like major shit talk, but it was like, oh, we just didn't blend well together. I think the only complaint that I can really remember is that you like brought fans on the bus sometimes, and so that's what they would get mad about. I don't know, but that was the extent of it. But they were just like, yeah, it just wasn't the right fit. Like she was nice, but just didn't fit well with the band.
Andy, you look deep in thought.
I'm wondering what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. So Andy, as my fiance, you should know. I don't think you actually know anything about me. So I used to be in a band called Cobra Starship, and and they kicked me out, and they replaced me with Vicky here.
Where? Oh, you told me this.
Yeah,
you told me this 3 days ago.
Yes, I did. And now she's our guest on Kermit and Friends. So everybody's asking her questions. So the fans of Kermit and Friends are so curious about her. She's been gracious.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
Why did they fire you, Elisa, and hire her?
I can answer that. So I just didn't really get along with her.
She She can answer it too.
Well, okay, well, both answer. I mean, what I think it is I just really didn't get along with them. I knew it from the beginning, actually, because we would be in the car driving to rehearsal, and it would be kind of awkward, completely silent in the car. So everybody would be in the car, and there would be no conversation. I was just so uncomfortable, and I already have a lot of social anxiety anyway. So that on top of it just made me very it was just very awkward. It was like a bad date for like a year straight.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what it felt like. And you know, when you're on a bad date and it's just so weird and you're like, what? I'm great. They're great. Because I mean, there's no doubt about it. This guy, Gabe, I mean, you don't meet a lot of people like that. I think I've met a handful of people, maybe 2 or 3 people in my lifetime, or when you meet them, you're just like, wow, this person is a star. This person is a star. There's only one of them. I mean, anywhere he goes, you know, people notice him when he speaks. People listen to him. He was just so charismatic that it just, I mean, anyone would be, you know, wanting to know him. You know, so I felt that way. I really did feel that way towards him. I admired him for his talent. But just because someone's very talented, and this is something I've learned throughout my life, you know, just because somebody's talented doesn't mean you're going to necessarily get along with that person. Doesn't mean you're, you know, similar to that person at all. You know, you just may not get along. And that's just what happened there. And even if I can admire him for his talent and his charisma and his obvious like good looks, I mean, he's one of the best looking people I've seen in person or on TV. So even if you admire people for that reason, it doesn't mean that they have the same heart as you, or they have the same feelings as you. And it's funny when you know, I've had jobs since, you know, I worked on the Howard Stern show. I worked at a gold company. And it's funny, I do not go towards the Gabe types. I go towards kind of the weirdos because I'm a weirdo. I've been a weirdo my whole life. So if there was a band full of like weirdos that didn't fit in, that would be more me than with like a guy that's kind of like a superstar, movie star type.
Yeah, same.
You too?
I mean, it's same. But what's funny though is that I don't know, somehow our type of weird just meshed well. I mean, like I said though, I mean, it wasn't easy. Like it wasn't an immediate, you know, all getting along. I mean, I feel like when I was first kind of trying out and not sure if I was even in the band or not, I think we were all vibing really well. But then once we were on the bus though, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of like picking on me. Yeah, it just that was rough. But then I kind of just like navigated and knew their different personalities and knew that I could stand up to them. Like I even remember the funniest thing was that I remember specifically, and by the way, I was just going to say like the fact that you acknowledge though that like, yeah, you guys just didn't necessarily blend well together is totally fine and legit. Like, I mean, some people just don't blend well together. And that was basically what they communicated to me was like, yeah, it wasn't working. Our personalities just were not matching up. Sorry. These comments, I'm like, what's going on? What was I getting to? Oh, okay. I can remember this one time in particular. So during the whole Cobra Starship phase where everyone was we were all wearing the neon stuff, I hated it. And I remember us doing a photo shoot and I'm like crying. I did not want to wear the clothes. And then finally I found something that was like somewhat decent enough. And I remember that we were at like some store and Gabe was like, oh, okay, we all need to wear windbreakers on stage. Like we should all wear matching windbreakers on stage. And I was like, fuck that. I was like, I'm not wearing a windbreaker. I was like, that's cool for you guys to wear it. Like guys wearing windbreakers, fine. I don't want to wear it. I wear dresses. And they were like, no, we need to all wear the same. I was like, I'll make a skirt out of the windbreaker or something. Like, I'm not wearing a windbreaker. And then Gabe was like, what if I told you I had to? And you wouldn't be in the band anymore. I'm like, guess you need to find another guitar player. Like, I was like, there's no way I'm putting up with that shit. Like, I just started to, talk back. Like, I was like, fine, find someone else. I don't care, like.
Good for you. You have a lot of balls. Let's take another question from Lori Bolton. Lori Bolton, you're on with Vicky-T from Cobra Starship.
Hello.
So the only song that I know by Cobra Starship, because they blew up when I was like very young, would be Good Girls Go Bad. But I was wondering, what was your favorite song to perform?
Great question.
We performed it very few times actually, but well, I guess I don't know. The one that we like commonly played, like Good Girls Go Bad was really fun to play because I loved singing it, and I loved the whole interaction that Gabe and I would have on stage. That was really fun. But prostitution is the world's oldest profession, or whatever the hell the title is. That was my favorite. I just loved the keyboard parts on that are really fun, and I would dance around. So that was my favorite, but we rarely played it. I was all sad when that got taken off of the playlist. I was all bummed, whereas the rest of the guys were like, oh, thank God we don't have to play that song. I was like, I love that
song. Okay, so now we have so many questions for you, Vicky. Is this okay? Is this okay?
Yeah.
Taking fan questions? Okay.
Totally fine.
All right, let's go to Michael Z. Zaccaro. Michael Z. Zaccaro, are you there for a question for Vicky-T?
Yes. No, not for a question, to be on the show as your guest. Oh.
Okay. All right. But can you think of a question for Vicky-T? She's a pop star. She's a musician.
How did you get started? When did you begin your career in music?
I guess when I was 14, 15, and I had a band. I was forced to have piano lessons as a kid. Hated it. And then later on, I actually had a band and was the singer, but that was it, I guess.
All right, let's pull up another fellow musician, Sugar. Sugar's my co-host here. Sugar, question for Vicky-T.
Hi, Vicky. It's lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I want to know where we can hear your music.
Yeah, you can hear it on Spotify or Apple Music. Vicky-T. Make sure you put the dash in there.
Yeah, I forgot to put the dash in there. I can't believe it. But yeah, so Vicky-T, she has a lot of music videos that I actually would like to play here for everyone in case they're not familiar with Vicky-T. Let's take a few more questions, so then I'll play one of your videos because I know you don't have that much time here. K-Bot, you're back.
Hey, what's going on?
You're on with musician Vicky-T.
Hi, K-Bot.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
My name is K-Bot.
It's awesome.
Vicky-T, you said you took piano lessons as a kid. When you took piano lessons as a child, did you yourself ever write or try and create your own songs as a kid?
I did.
Could you tell us or sing a portion of it right now?
Oh God. Oh God, they're terrible. Oh my God, there was one. I remember like
I too, when I was a little baby robot, was taking piano lessons as well inside of a giant church with Count Dracula.
Wow. Can I hear that song?
Well, no, the piano teacher, my mother and father left me at this church, and the piano teacher was 187 years old inside this giant church teaching me Bach and Beethoven. But Vicky-T, please, let's hear some of your work.
I had a terrible song called I'm like, which terrible song should I say? There was one that was like hey there, girl, you look real sad. Standing with your daddy, dad. Oh my God, it was so bad. But
that's so cute.
I was heavily into, probably no one will probably know this band, but I was very into this band BIS at the time, BIS. And they're a Scottish, like little kind of like punk pop band. And dude, all I wanted was to sound like them. So that song is very BIS sounding.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. This is a person I do not recognize, but I think it's Callie.
Yeah, it is Callie.
Callie.
Hi, Callie.
So Vicky, wait until you hear Callie's story. Callie is living with Andy Dick, my fiance right now.
That's right.
And she used to live with Ron Jeremy and Corey Feldman.
Yeah, and I lived with Corey Feldman before Ronnie.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is extremely interesting to me. When I found that out last night, I was just blown away. I mean, number one, you're living with my fiance. Number two, you live with Corey Feldman, and then Ron Jeremy. Is Andy Dick by far your best roommate?
No, he's like a best friend. I mean, we were on the U.S. Daily Mail, and Andy came and married some people in the Janis Joplin room at the Highland Gardens Hotel. And I love Janis Joplin. Jerry Heller was my former manager, and Jerry Heller had signed Janis Joplin. So I felt like a real tie with the whole Janis Joplin thing. And
wow,
it was really cool. I live with Ronnie. We're like a best friend, and we did Cameo together, and we're on television for maybe like Saturday Night Live with Chris Webby and yeah. Here's Andy.
Andy, what the heck is going on over there? What's going on?
We're having a birthday party.
Oh no!
We're having a birthday party.
Oh my
God!
Elisa, how are you putting up with this?
I don't know what to do, Vicky. What should I do with this? This does not seem good at all.
Don't marry him. Don't have a kid with
look
him.
at what's going on over there, and on my podcast.
I mean, to each their own, whatever kind of relationship you're into, but I wouldn't put up with that shit.
Yeah, you know what? I cannot believe this. It's like shocking. I'm like laughing, but I'm crying right now. I don't know what to say. Yeah, this is not the type of relationship that would be good for me, Andy.
Not healthy.
Andy, Vicky says this is not healthy.
Wait, what?
Ugh, never mind. I'm just going to mute him right now. Okay, there's somebody that has a huge crush on you, Vicky. He's about to call in. His name is Corey. And then I'm going to play some of your music videos. I have 3 music videos of yours. I'm going to ask you about them. Feeling Myself, Turn It Low, Kryptonite, Push Comes to Shove.
Maybe Push Comes to Shove or Kryptonite. Either one of those are my favorite.
Okay. 1 second. Let's play Push Comes to Shove, and then we're going to take some more questions. Andy, this is very disappointing.
I am silenced by the noise. Thought I had a choice. Now it's safe to say nobody does. Sleepless, paranoid, scrolling through the void. Nothing good down there, but I can't get up. They say it's been a long time coming, and we've all had enough. Something's always bound to happen when push comes to shove. When push comes to shove. I'm gonna be who I wanna be. I'm gonna do what I wanna do. When push comes to shove. When push comes to shove. I tried leaving it behind.
Wow. I love that song. Vicky, when you were writing that song, what were you thinking about? What was that song about?
So it was written by me and John Walker, and it was just kind of about like all the just noise online of social media and just being really sick of it and wanting to like separate from all that shit, and also kind of it's like a fuck you to the kind of abuse and messed up things that happen in life and depressions and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of all over the place.
So when you reached out to me about my article I wrote for Marie Claire about the sexism, how do you feel that has affected you personally?
Sexism in general, or
yeah. Like what do you think it's hurt anything as far as your career or as far as your life?
I mean, I think the hardest part for me, relating to kind of like judgment as a woman in entertainment, is that the thing that drove me crazy was like on tour, if I kind of wanted to keep to myself certain tours and didn't really feel like socializing and hanging out, I was perceived as bitchy. And if I was hanging out with everyone and like, cause I would ride all the time on Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker's bus, there was absolutely nothing sexual in any shape or form. We were totally chill. We were just all friends and we would hang out. But everyone, of course, was talking about me. Ooh, she's riding on the bus. Like, I'm sure she's fucking everyone, blah, blah, blah. And it was that stuff. It was kind of like, God, can I not just like be a girl hanging out? Like, do I have to be either the bitch or the slut? And that drove me nuts. Like that's, I think, was the biggest thing that killed me about being on tour with a lot of guys. That was the most frustrating.
And then since doing your solo career with all these awesome songs and videos that you have, did you feel like any sexism or anything about being like a woman in the industry was holding you back for your solo career?
No, I think because I just had full control over it and it was just fun to pursue. Like for me, it was just like a kind of expression of art that I wanted to get out there. And it's kind of like throwing it at the wall and hoping that it sticks. Nothing really happened with any of the songs, but I'm still proud of them. And that song in particular, the music video is all one take. And so there's no cuts in that whole thing. And basically the song was playing back like double speed during the verses and half speed during the chorus, so that it had like a cool effect once it was edited in proper time. And it was just wild because I literally just kind of asked people to show up for the shoot. None of them had heard the song before. And then they're having to hear the song double or half time and try to sing the lyrics as best that they could while we shoot it. And I'm just really proud with how it turned out because we only did it twice. We filmed the thing twice and luckily we got like enough of a cool take.
And the cool thing about, writing a song like that is you can say exactly what you've wanted to say to people and make sure they really hear it. Because sometimes, when you're faced with a situation where, people aren't treating you right, or, you feel like you're being held back, it's hard to express it, but through music you can.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So that's what I love about it.
And I loved combining the like visual element with it as well. So like that was all stuff that I was directing and making, and it was just really fulfilling. I didn't make any money, but so I eventually had to also have a job as well as pursuing the arts. But
So what was your job when you were working on this? Because I know music videos are so expensive. What was your job that was funding your solo career?
No job, credit cards. Big mistake. It was kind of like investing in it, hoping that, I had money saved up from Cobras and I was using my credit cards a lot, got into some credit card debt. So I was foolish about that. But, in my head, it was kind of like, okay, like I'm going to invest in this thing and I hope it works out. Sadly, I didn't make money from it. But then I, kind of went back to film stuff. I started working at Blumhouse Entertainment, which was amazing. And I loved working at Blumhouse. And then now I'm working managing songwriters and producers, but still always pursuing the arts on the side. And, hopefully one day the arts are going to work out. It's going to be my own solo thing that I don't have to say anything to anyone else.
Yeah, no, that's the dream, right? Just doing what you love, expressing yourself, really being you. I
Totally.
mean,
And how about you? I feel like I'm just blabbing about all my shit. I want to know like what you are up to and what your pursuits have been.
well, my pursuits, I always love just anything creative. I really love doing this show because, you know, I'm in complete control over it. Whether something happens with it or not is completely up to me. So there's a lot of beauty in that, and I can make it just a tapestry of everything I love. So I love humor, you know, I love interviewing people, I love Muppets, I love just connecting with people and making the world a better place. So I want to put a spotlight on people. I mean, obviously you've been celebrated, right? In your life, obviously you're like a celebrity, you're a pop star. Andy has too, and me somewhat as well. But there's also other people that are on this show that haven't experienced that. And I want them to feel that too, because there is something to it where you can reach people and really express yourself and be honest. So I feel like that's a really powerful place, you know, to come from. I went through a lot of sadness, you know, when I was fired from Cobra Starship. I went through so much sadness. I didn't think I could get through it, Vicky. I got to be honest.
Sure, man. I again, that's why like I felt such empathy for you because I was like, I'm sure that had to have sucked. I'm sure you like. I mean, it's amazing if you didn't hate me, but like if it had been turned, I would have been like that fucking bitch, you know, whatever. Even though obviously it wasn't my fault. It wasn't like I stole it away from you, but you know, like it was not anything to do with me. But still, no matter what, like if you have a boyfriend and they get a new girlfriend, you hate the girl anyway, you know, like.
Yeah, but it made me really grow as a person. I'll tell you that, because you can't really grow as a person unless you go through some kind of pain. I always felt that. So I went through so much pain, you know, hearing the Cobra Starship songs everywhere on the radio and cabs and stores. I mean, I couldn't escape it. So that kind of pain that follows you everywhere, it has to make you grow in some way. So I feel like I grew, and I took all the angst and all the anger I had from that situation. I felt like I was wronged, but all those feelings, like I really tried to make something of it. So, you know, I wrote songs. I used that. I was like, I need to succeed. I need to succeed so bad. So when I had an opportunity at the Howard Stern show, I was like, I'm going to make the most of this. I am not going to sleep on another opportunity, because we don't have, you know, unlimited opportunities in life. I mean, I could count like a handful of opportunities I've had. Cobra Starship is definitely one. The Howard Stern show is one. You know, just really not that many. So at the end of the day, I feel like I have to create my own opportunities. So that's why I'm doing this show. That's why I am really passionate about, you know, making it the best that it can be. And I truly enjoy it. And I really enjoy the fact that nobody can fire me from it. We have a question from Corey for Vicky-T. Hey, Corey.
Hello. Okay, I got a couple, but first of all, Andy's dick's friend looks like it could be Sugar's sister. Just saying.
I don't know who
That's
that is.
Callie. You're going to meet her later. You're going to meet Callie later. She has an interesting story too.
Two things. Do you know anything about sheet music, Victoria or Vicky?
I mean, I know it, but do I read it well? Not particularly.
I wasn't talking about that, but I was thinking, you know, getting together, making some sheet music, write our own love song, sing them all night long.
I don't really make sheet music, but and I do have a boyfriend, but
He's into that, and okay, but so there's no chance of doing a duet together?
No, I don't think so, unfortunately. But I think that you should find the right girl that you fall in love with and you write an epic love song with. That's the way to do it.
I'm sorry, I had to put that one out there. Just a little sense of humor, but
Yeah, he's been talking about you, Vicky, since I announced that I was booking you on Kermit and Friends. He hasn't shut up about you. He's been in the Kermit and Friends fan club, typing many things. He really likes you. Right, Corey?
kind of like this. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Do you get that a lot? Vicky? Do you get that a lot? Do you get a lot of like male suitors, even though you are taken?
I do. I don't. I leave them unread in the DMs, I guess, is where that mostly happens, I think. I don't know.
Speaking of unread in the DMs, Trumpster Bob, you're on with Vicky-T. Any final question for her? Because I'm going to let her go pretty soon and promote her music. Wait, what is going on?
I think we got some feedback.
Yeah, actually, I do.
Okay.
I really do. I really do. Vicky, I love your music. I think you're great.
Thank you.
You know, I tell you, my main question is, have you ever had a boob job?
No, I have not.
Or are those things never had
They're
a wow, I'm impressed.
100% real.
Oh my God, Bob.
And you said
Not
they look
interested
great.
in any of
Well,
the
I'd love
plastic surgery world. What?
I said, you said they look great, and I said I wouldn't mind seeing them one time. But
Bob, no, Bob.
Vicky
All
also
boobs
said,
should be
hold on. Vicky also
celebrated.
said she wanted to always be in front of the camera, and my first thought was, well, I can
Behind
make
the
that
camera.
happen. No, I
Behind
said
the
you
camera.
be a star in the camera video. You know what I'm saying? Your boobs facing down on the bed. And if you want to bring this beautiful lady with you, shit, I'd dump right in the middle of that.
Sure you would. I mean, I think that there's plenty of websites now that you can totally engage in that kind of thing, just not with us. But maybe like you can find someone that like looks similar to us.
Yeah, just Google brunettes, Bob. All right. I have a Cowboys fan here who's also a Vicky-T fan. Cowboys fan, what's your question for Vicky-T?
What's up? Well, it's not me. I
Ah,
I think that has the question. It's my wife. She runs the channel with me here on YouTube, baby.
awesome.
Yeah, but Vicky, my question real quick is the video for Guilty Pleasure. I know it said that you directed it, but who came up for the dance for it? Yeah!
Wow!
Oh, man. I'm telling you right now, my kids think I'm crazy, but I still do it now.
I love that. I always wanted to do a music video that had some kind of synchronized dance, and I thought that was like the easiest dance to do. And I got to say that was actually like to go back to the question of like what was one of my favorite songs to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty Pleasure was definitely one of my favorites because I just loved every time I saw the audience doing that dance. I was like, man, they saw the video that I made. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, again, it was awesome. Again, the whole Viva La Cobra album was like amazing. Thank you.
I love that. Of course. Thank you. I was like, I wanted to see the voice.
Yeah, sorry. I know. Just in the
Hi.
Hi.
Wow, what a sweetheart. Okay, so people also sent me in questions. You're still in the prime of your life, Vicky. What dreams do you hold for the future? What are some things left you'd like to accomplish that you haven't already?
So when Cobra's ended, I was very sad. And then I kind of had this moment of like, if I was an old lady on my deathbed and I was reflecting back on my life, what are the things I wish I had accomplished? So for me, it was putting out solo music and directing a feature horror film. So directing a feature horror film is the next thing in line. I'm currently working on a script for a feature horror film and hoping it'll be finished by this year. And then hopefully I'll direct it and it'll come out and then tick that one off.
Oh, that would be amazing. That sounds like fun too. Okay. And then I have one more person and then I'm going to definitely let you go because I just appreciate your time here so much.
This has been really fun.
Okay, good. Okay, so Justin Smallwood, Vicky-T Asher, final question.
Okay, I have so many questions for you, Miss Vicky.
Mm-hmm.
How many albums have you produced?
I haven't produced any albums, but I mean, or do you mean like created? But I wasn't like a producer on it.
Created. I'm so nervous. At least that's not funny.
Oh no! Oh, don't be nervous. There's nothing scary going on here.
No.
How many albums did we put out? I don't know. I don't remember. 5? 4? Oh. That's terrible. I should just know that off.
Have you ever found Starship to be a good place for you? Because Elisa said ever since she left the group, she hasn't found the right place. She has not been found the right place to. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Do you mean like find the right kind of combination of people? Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
And you're asking how my experience was with Cobras, or
how was your experience with Starship? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Like, what's your?
I would say that it was totally a love-hate relationship. You know, they felt like brothers to me. They were my best friends, but also sometimes my enemies. When you're living and working with people for that long in close quarters, you guys definitely get on each other's nerves, and there are moments where you can't stand each other. But I think the hardest part for me is that since the band was over, I always tried to, maintain the relationship that we all had. Like I was like, hey, like I want all of you to come over and I'll cook you guys dinner. We'll all hang out. And I didn't hear back for a while. And then I finally heard back from Ryland, and he was just like, oh, if you're wanting to get the band back together, like, yeah, we don't want to be pressured into that. And I'm like, no, actually I was trying to do something nice so we could all come together, and we've worked together that long, and to be kind of a community, So I think for me, since then, like, it was a great experience, again, good and bad, but I'm all about maintaining relationships with everyone in my life, and I'm a little disappointed that I don't. I'm still close with Gabe, but I don't see the other ones ever. So
I'm sorry to hear that, but you know what, Vicky? Sometimes things just take time.
Yeah.
They might be hurt for some reason, and
who knows?
And
or it's just like moving on, like that's a different part of their life, and it has to be separate. I know a lot of people do that, but
that's their situation. That has nothing to do with you. So I admire that you reached out, and I say to people that are watching here today, do not be afraid to be the person that reaches out, because Vicky here, right? She reached out to me several times, and I wasn't ready. Okay. And that has nothing to do with who she is as a person. It had to do with what I was dealing with at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes, people are just not ready, but always be that person that reaches out, because you just never know what could happen. And, you never know what relationships you can build. And everybody got to see what a great person that you are today. All these people here, and I know they appreciated it. I appreciate it.
I appreciated being able to do this with you. And I think actually when I reached out to you saying that, I hope that there was no bad blood between us, you were like totally nice in return with me. I agree with you with like, don't be scared to reach out. For me, I don't want any bad blood with anyone in my life. And sometimes if you reach out to people and they reject you, like that's on them. Fine. But like, cause I've falling out with like an ex, I try to kind of I was like, hey, like, I don't like that things ended badly. I don't believe in having bad blood with anyone. But then he rejected it, and it's kind of like, all right, fine. Like, I mean, he was the jerk to begin with.
Well, the thing is, Vicky, I feel like
not everyone can take that.
See, the thing is, if you reach out to somebody, an ex, or somebody that has wronged you, or you feel that's wronged you, and they don't respond, sometimes I just don't want to hurt myself like that. I don't want to put myself through any unnecessary like pain.
Yeah.
But maybe that pain is good for some reason. Maybe it could lead you to something, or lead you to a realization, or make you better. So would you say to not be afraid of that pain? Like when you reached out to like Ryland and Alex, and they kind of like rejected you, how were you able to process those feelings?
I think the most important thing is to be like, to like look at your actions. Like, did I do anything shitty in this situation? Like, was I a jerk by asking this thing? Like, no, I was being nice. And, if someone chooses to reject, like you're reaching out, or like an attempt at connection, then again, I think that's on them. And I think you just need to not take the rejection as like something that you did wrong. It's kind of like, well, I tried, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. So
I think you should definitely know when to stop reaching out. I'm not saying like, oh, just keep then reaching out and trying to make it happen. It's like, no, like close that door if it needs to be closed. But to be the bigger person and try and make friends or make nice, like that's not bad.
Yeah. We're not trying to tell people to stalk anyone or show up at anybody's house. We're just saying, reach out if you feel, because you never know when you're not going to have the chance anymore, because, people are dying left and right all over right now. There's illness, there's so many problems in this country. Now is your time. Now is the time that you have. Reach out to people if you care for them, if you feel like you could give to them. Actually, in Kabbalah class, they told me, never reach out to someone if you want something from them. Only reach out to someone if you have something to give. And I generally go by that rule.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah. So, Vicky, what do you want to promote?
Gosh, I guess I don't have the thing to promote right now, because I'm in the process of like starting to have the meetings to pitch this docuseries that I created. So until that's out in the world, I can't really talk about it. But I am going to be putting out some new music finally. I have a ton of music that has just been sitting around, and I'm like, why don't I just like put out another EP and put it out there? So that'll be coming out. But otherwise, I have my Instagram at Vicky-T. So that way, when this does happen, then I can promote to you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Vicky, for coming on the show. You have been so amazing.
You too.
You exceeded my expectations. You're just such a beautiful person inside and out. And it's truly been a blessing meeting you. And I hope this is not the last time we hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. It was lovely to finally meet you over this.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Vicky. God, I just love her. How awesome is she? I'm going to play another one of her music videos, and then we're going to get to Andy Dick.
Your innocence, I play pretend. I thought that you needed a friend. A paper cup turned into love. Cause ever since you brought along a copy of my favorite song, I see you in a different way. Just so you know, it's the way you remember the little things you bring when we're together. When I was done, you lured me back with just a silly figurine. I'm into you, are you into me? Achilles heel, I'm weak as hell. Just so you know, it's the way you remember the little things you bring when we're together. Things just sign me up. I just want for us to be more. You can find me like a spotlight, but it doesn't always glow. Once we take it to the spotlight, will you turn it low?
Okay, so now here, hey, oh my gosh, Andy, what the heck is going on with your audio? There's first of all, there's two Andy Dicks. Which one is
Like
you?
too many people here, and
Where?
I did.
You guys stop arguing. I'm finishing the show right now.
Andy,
Baby,
why don't you go in your bedroom where it's nice and quiet?
how about this? Can I come in your bedroom?
Andy, I saw you making out with someone earlier. I didn't like that. Who was that? That was Callie. You were making out with Callie.
See, bitch. See, motherfucker.
I have trust issues already. I have trust issues already, and now even more trust issues. It's so hard to date. I'm not dating anymore. Just forget it. No more dating for me. I give up. I'm going to welcome our musical guest, Michael J. Zaccaro. Michael, do you have a song for us, sweetheart?
Hello, Elisa. Hi,
down.
Andy. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, Andy's here. Okay, so Michael, what are you going to be playing for us
There we
today?
go. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
I don't know if we're. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. This is quite a show. It's a fly by the seat of your pants type of thing. I see.
Not really. Actually, I have exactly what's going to happen in the show all here. But yeah, if you want to think of it that way. Do you have a song for us, Michael?
I do. I'm happy to sing some Sinatra, although I do a lot of
Perfect.
stuff. But let's start with "Fly Me to the Moon." Let me go start it. Hold on.
Perfect.
Here we go. Fly among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, Elisa, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. And oh, please, whoa. In other words, I love you. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, Elisa, I say in other words, in other words, in other words, I love you.
Oh, I'm depressed.
Why are you depressed, Andy? Why are you depressed?
Can I come see you?
What's going on over there? You couldn't get into a quiet place today. I really needed you to get into a quiet place.
Can I see you?
Yeah, I guess you could see me.
Can I see you? Can I see you tonight?
All right. All right. Just get into a quiet place. It's really hard to talk to you when it's so loud over there. It's like a huge party.
I just want to get some pad time with you.
Okay. I could get some pad thai. All right. You know where I live. Just come here.
All right, baby.
All right.
Where do
Bye.
you want me to meet you?
At my place. All right. Okay. That was Andy. Okay. Lana, I met you on Instagram. You're a beautiful model.
Oh, thank you.
And I was so pleased that you reached out to me about Kermit and Friends. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the show so far today? Because we're gonna end soon, but I want everybody to know who you are.
Okay.
You seem very wonderful, and you seem like a great new person here. Can you just give everybody a little background on what you're about?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I love the show so far. It was in and out, but I just want to get a feel for all your guests and what you talk about. And yeah, I'm really into this kind of stuff, entertainment. I was a performance artist for a long time, still am. I used to act. I'm in New York City, so I did a lot of off-Broadway theater. I do spoken word poetry. I write and produce my own lyrics, and I perform. I also kind of took it to the next level, and now I use expressive therapies with my clients. So that's another part of me and what I'm about, using art for well-being and mental health.
That's wonderful. So if people want your services, what would you call your services? Are you like a life coach or?
Yeah. Okay, so I started a program called Shifted Artists. That's SHIFT.IT artists. And it's really for actors and artists who want, kind of clinical coaching, I call it. So we go a little bit deeper. Someone just followed me. That's so cool. Okay. Yeah, we go a little bit deeper into, what are the needs of you as an artist or a creator and how you can get to the next level, performance mindset, and really using your artistic medium to help you channel kind of what you're looking for and what you want to create in the world, whether that be developing your relationships, getting better at what you do, kind of getting people to do what you want them to do, but not getting upset about it and saying, damn it, like, why isn't this person answering me? Like, how do we communicate effectively to get those results? And a lot of people struggle with that, especially in the arts and entertainment. And I think you talk a lot about that. So that's kind of what I'm about and how to help people with that. Oh.
Yeah, man, I could have used you for sure when I was in Cobra Starship. No doubt about that. You would have been very beneficial. So I want everybody to follow Lana here. I want her to be part of the community. Obviously, she has a lot to offer. And what I've learned from Lana and what I've learned from myself is do not be afraid to reach out to people because you never know what you could uncover. So Lana reached out to me. I looked at her Instagram. I was like, wow, this is a beautiful girl. I didn't know about what you had to offer. You obviously help people. And if you help people, there's a lot of people to help here. One is Trumpster Bob, who is an amazing guy. He's a conservative Republican. He hosts one of our many wrap-up shows here. So this show, it stems out to a lot of other shows. So we have a wrap-up show. We have multiple shows going out through the week, and it's a community. So I hope you'll join our community, Lana, so you can be more and more popular, not only on Instagram, but just have friends from all over the world. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, great. I love this, Lana. I love everybody that's participated today. I love Trumpster Bob. Trumpster Bob, what can we look forward to? Are you doing a wrap-up show? Is it Corey or who's doing what?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be set up this week with a wrap-up show or after show. I think I'm going to follow that up the following week when I got everything set up to where I can do videos or whatever. And however, I am going to write and sing a song.
Yeah, Lisa, I already texted you. I told you I'm already doing the wrap-up show.
Oh, okay, good, Corey. Okay, so Corey's doing the wrap-up show. 1 second. Kermit and Friends.
Yeah, Elisa, it's Jim. Listen, Andy has a lot of explaining to do. That's all I want to say. He needs to explain his behavior. That's all. Great show. Awesome show. But Andy Dick needs to explain his behavior. Have a good rest of the show, Elisa. I love you. Bye.
Love you, Claire. Sugar, do you agree with Claire?
No, I think the opposite is true. I think Corey was right, and that your sister wife kind of looks like my twin. And I think that there should just be a big marriage of everybody, and that we should just all accept each other exactly the way we are with love. Hi, Corey.
Hey, Sugar.
Absolutely. I accept everyone here. Corey's the host of the wrap-up show. What's coming up on the wrap-up show, Corey?
Well, of course, we're going to be wrapping it down what's going on today and talking about Vicky. We're going to be talking about Andy Dick and his actions. And
Awesome.
we don't know
Did you
what
like
he's
Vicky?
pretty.
What did you think of Victoria Asher from Cobra Starship? What do you think?
She's awesome. I think
Yep.
she should become a regular, and then maybe you should enter to your Discord.
I would love that. Oh my gosh, would I love that? That would be amazing. And this just shows that do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to reach out to people. If you have someone that you're scared to reach out to, or you're intimidated, or you're just not sure how they're going to respond, have a couple of drinks and just write to them, because look what can happen. Victoria Asher was on the show today and she was awesome. I want to thank Vicky-T and everybody that's joined us today. I want to thank everybody in the audience for watching us today. In the spirit of Kermit, I love you, and I'll see you next Sunday, the same time, same magical place.